Well, we're going for hamburgers after this.
I'll go with you for that, but I mean musically.
We're in Europe for
This is a really big moment. After 10 years together, exclusively here on MTV this evening, we're going to see Kiss without their makeup for the very first time. Vinnie Vincent, lead guitarist and co-writer of many of the songs on the current Kiss album. Eric Carr, drummer, has been with the band since 1979. And Kiss is, by the way, the very first band that Eric has ever been with. Paul Stanley, rhythm guitarist and lead vocalist. Paul is a co-founder of the group. Gene Simmons, bass, also co-founder of Kiss. He is the fire-breathing, blood-spitting monster of Kiss. Welcome, you guys. This is amazing.
Hi, Whoa. Hi, JJ. How you doing?
No, it's so funny because just seeing you for the very first time after all this time, we're honored and we're really glad to have this exclusive. For all of you guys, actually, this question is, it'd be interesting to get your response because I'm sure everyone in America wants to know, and especially anybody who's been a Kiss fan, and there are many of those over all these years. Very first time out, how does it feel now, without makeup, appearing for the very first time?
It feels good. It feels, we've always been close to our fans. In fact, in a lot of the shows, we'd walk out into the crowd to sort of get a feel of what everybody was feeling like. And most often, they really wouldn't know it was us. So we've always felt closer, and I think it's time for them to sort of know us a little bit more. It feels very, very comfortable. I mean, I hope it seems that way. I feel fine about it. No, I'm fine.
But actually, it feels great. I mean, to me, it doesn't feel all that different because I've seen these guys more often without makeup than I have with makeup, so.
Maybe before a concert, you're playing a major arena. Did you often, prior to putting on makeup, just go out into the audience and...
I bought a ticket at the front door of Madison Square Garden when we came in to play 4 nights, walked through the front gate, through the crowd, backstage, went to the dressing room, put on makeup, and came up on stage.
And while he was
While he was on stage, they were all
while he was,
right.
While he was doing his solo, I went in the audience and threw things at him.
No, but that's interesting. You must get a good feel for what the audience is like when you...
Great.
Yeah, it is great.
But that's over now?
It's the best. No,
All right,
it's
because
not.
now they know what you look like, and we're glad it's going to be something.
The amazing thing is that they do recognize us without the makeup anyway.
Really?
On the street. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that
Red jacket throws him off.
Red jacket.
Hi, I'm Vinnie Vincent.
It happens often enough. We get into, I don't know, Madison, Wisconsin or something, and people invariably come up and say, "Aren't you Gene Simmons?" Could be the 10-foot sign that says, "Hi, I'm Gene Simmons." And we've made a lot of friends over the years.
When was the band formed?
10 years ago. On 23rd Street, in fact.
Really?
We were just 4 guys, of course.
4 guys with makeup.
Walking down the street with high heels. Actually, it was a 24-hour sort of lifestyle. We were walking around with high heels all the time. People were trying to figure out who the hell we were, and of course, we were nobody.
Putting out the low sparkle,
you know.
those high heel boys.
That's right.
Tell me, did you start actually in your first gig? Did you, right from the beginning, use makeup?
Yeah, we always looked like that. When we were playing small clubs for about 80 people, 100 people, the only thing that got us through it was thinking we were playing the Garden, because otherwise, I mean, it's kind of hard to play for 80 people when there's 100 people outside that are trying to get in and kill you.
We had great dedicated fans, though, right from the beginning. We had girls who made our T-shirts, and of course, we'd hand them out to our friends in the front rows. And
Girls that took off their T-shirts.
It's going to be that kind of a show, folks.
Did you ever play without makeup at any time together?
Only back in the hotel. No, never on stage.
So after all this time, now why did you decide after all this time? Because I think a lot of people thought you may have done that a few years back, and then you didn't, so you held on. Why now are you deciding to...
I think it's just time.
It felt right. You know,
Let me see.
It felt right. I mean, we thought about it for a while, but I mean, we could give you all kinds of great answers, you know, that we went and saw Swami. We did that too. But no, it just felt like the right time to do it. And I mean, the band feels so strong, and it just felt like, do it. The album's great. There's a tour coming up, and
there's really no other reason. This is our 18th record. You know, 10 years on, we feel great, and it's just time.
Now, one of the things, like I said earlier, is that Kiss was always known. In fact, I would have to say, certainly, if not the main, I'd say, people who pushed out theatrics as far as rock and roll is concerned, certainly among the very first. And your shows were always rather bombastic and incredibly visual, and the makeup lent itself to that. Now what will happen, as far as the makeup coming off, will the stage show be just as visual as it was? Will the presentation change?
Nothing really changes because we only know one way to perform. You know, the makeup never had anything to do with the bombs or the doing splits or whatever we were doing on stage comes from us. I mean, taking the makeup off doesn't change how we feel. I mean, we're the same people.
We've always contended from the beginning that the makeup was just a sort of a stage manifestation of who we are. Somehow people, and you'll see our first video without makeup very soon, but somehow people, as soon as they watch it, sort of realize who's who. And we've always contended that the makeup was just an extension of our personalities. We really are who we seem. And the makeup is, I don't know, I'll wear this jacket one day and something else another day. It really wasn't more than just what we looked like on stage. KISS is still KISS. Same sort of energy and drive and commitment to doing everything short of killing ourselves to give people the best show in the world.
One of the things I've always found a little odd, and I wondered how you felt about it, was a lot of the so-called highbrow rock and roll critics have always, in a way, not really put you down, but kind of dismiss KISS as being a novelty act. However, nowadays, we're seeing so many different acts come up with makeup, and it's not really fair in a way, because you guys really started that. And yet, do you think...
That's okay, some of those guys aren't around anymore.
Yeah, right, that's true. But do you think now that the makeup is off, and of course, even in a few years back, a lot of critics thought that I Want to Rock and Roll All Night was one of the great rock and roll songs. Do you think that now they'll start taking you seriously? And if so, does that mean anything to you?
We never did anything to get any kind of approval from critics. I mean, if you get that, that's great. But if you look at the top 10 for each critic each year, I usually don't know any of the albums that are on the top 10. It's kind of like who's hipper than who knows more obscure bands. I don't know, some people have always read into what we do and thought that we did it for, I don't know, to cover up something that wasn't there. But we're in good company.
It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that at the end of the show, people see the best show they've ever seen. And that's really the only important thing, because critics are sometimes with you, they get free passes. We don't mind them, as long as they print our picture. It's the fans we care about.